first time I saw you guys was at Staley's.
Yes.
Let's go back to that show.
All right.
Just because that's how I became familiar with the band. I have the video clips, I have the review up. I literally walked in between the first and second set and I was like, where am I going to even stand to take the video?
Yeah.
The passion, the power, the emotion, the way the band got into it at that show reminded me of the way rock used to be before everything went commercialized and mainstream. You know, where you used to see the major bands like back in the 70s and 80s getting out into the crowd, which is something even no matter where you live, the local side is starting to get away from.
Yeah.
Okay. How important is that to you guys, to you and to the band, you know, in general, as far as like creating and keeping the energy and really getting the people that are involved into it? How important is that to you?
Almost as important as these pierogies. Thanks. It's real important for us. I mean, a band, obviously the music's the most important thing.
Right.
But you got to put a show on. You know, so you can sound as good as you're going to sound, but until you start putting on some kind of live show, just like maybe every other band that somebody in the crowd's ever seen.
Yeah, or like some shows, you know, some places I've been to where the crowd is there, and they could care less whether it was a band, a DJ, or a jukebox on stage. You know,
right.
So it's
that particular show was a lot easier to get into it because there was just so many people there, and you know, it's a cliche, but you get a little energy out of the crowd. It gives the band a lot more energy, and it makes it easier for us to do what we do. And when you're playing for 4 hours, you know, 3.5, 4 hours, you know, you start to run out of gas at the end of the night and stuff like that. But at a show like that, where it's just packed, there's people up having a good time, you know the crowd's having a good time, it kind of gives you a little shot of adrenaline. And,
especially in between sets.
Yeah. You know, it makes it easier. I mean, that's just part of the show. I can't sit still when I'm playing. I just can't. That's part of my personality. It just makes it more fun. I mean,
okay.
it's that 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday night. You get to be somebody else. You get to be a nut. You know what I mean? You get to have fun. So I just try to make the most out of it, and that's, I think, something that we all do. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just our MOD, I guess. Is how we do things.
Okay. Now you mentioned about how the band and the crowd, the energy.
Yeah.
I call that the band crowd energy loop, where it's initially the band's job to create it, but then the band creates it, the crowd feeds off it, and it's just a constant loop going.
Yeah.
That's actually really important to not only to the crowd, but that's really important to the band. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's important to everybody. I mean, everybody says that they're always going to play the same way in front of 10 people that they would in front of 100 people or in front of 1,000 people. And that's true. We try to put it out there no matter who's there, because if 10 people show up, those 10 people showed up, and we should be giving them the same show that we would give a ton of people. And we do that, but the truth is, when there's a lot of people there and they're really getting nuts, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. You know, but a hell of a lot easier. It's not even a question.
Yeah, I remember the two guys that tried to bring back slam dancing at that show.
Yeah,
you know, but even though this is a real small dance area, at points you guys had that. I'm like, you know, people. I'm like, and they're moving how? You know.
As long as you don't take out equipment or hurt anybody, we really don't care what happens down there.
Yeah.
Get right in there and throw it out with them. It don't matter.
Yeah, no, another thing I will remember from that show is 1 foot on the chair, 1 foot on the table, fist raised in the air.
Yeah, that's with a new place. You got to kind of test the waters a little bit.
Right.
Usually when we play a new place, I'm scoping out the area and seeing if I got stuff to climb on. And I usually put a foot up and like look for a bartender or look for an owner, and they're either going like this or they're not caring. And if they don't care, then
yeah. Now, which one did you get from Staley's?
Wait, which one? What?
Which response did you get over at Staley's?
Oh no, they didn't care what we did. Actually, one of the bartenders said something at the end of the night. They said that the owner was there and they were having so much business and making so much money, they didn't really care what I did. So
yeah, they made their money. They were happy. So now kicking it over to cover band. You got Angel Down is a cover band.
Right.
How do you decide like what songs to do? My questions will be all over the place. I switch gears. I can switch gears like that. How do you guys like? I mean, I've seen some bands. I lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina for 8.5 years. I saw cover bands down there. I've seen cover bands in other areas where I can tell no matter how many times I see the band, okay, this song is going to be here. This is how. Do you guys mix up the set list, and how do you decide like what songs you're going to play or try?
In the very beginning, when we first started the band, we already knew we wanted to do something different than a typical cover band. I've seen a million cover bands since I first started playing, and a lot of them are playing the same set list, especially like a lot of the circuit bands that are playing for some of the larger booking agents and stuff, and it's the same pop party music and stuff, which is cool if you're into that kind of stuff, but we definitely wanted to be a little bit more edgy. And I guess it's a weird word to use when you're talking about cover bands, but as far as like the integrity of what we do, we wanted to hang on to that. We didn't want to do the same set list everybody was doing. We wanted to have a little edge, play some heavier stuff, and not that we don't like some of the party music and stuff like that, but just to do that for a whole night, that's just not us. We're into heavier music. I got Motley Crue fans in the band, and Soundgarden fans in the band, and Metallica, and Van Halen and Guns N' Roses and all that stuff, and we just wanted to do something different than everyone else was doing, and we did that from the beginning. But then we started to take some of those pop songs, or maybe some of the classic rock songs, and put our own spin on them. We did the Billy Joel song, and Phil Collins song.
Big Shot. I was like, huh? Exactly. Nobody even covers Billy Joel anymore. And all of a sudden here, it's one of my favorites. Always been one of my favorite songs by Billy Joel. Growing up listening to him, and I was like, am I hearing this right? It was you guys killed Phil Collins.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. We try to maybe not play everything note for note. I mean, we kind of feel like if you want to hear something note for note, you can just listen to it on a disc, you know what I mean? Or MP3 or whatever. We try to put our own twist on as much stuff as we can. I mean, if it's something like Pantera, you just play it how it is, but if it's some old school stuff...
Or you just fake your way through and nobody notices the difference, right?
Yeah, they have enough in them.
Yeah.
But that actually kind of became our bread and butter, as far as, doing covers was taking songs like that and putting our own spin on them and kind of writing them how we would have wrote them, if we would have wrote them.
Okay.
Doing stuff like that, and yeah, that's... I don't know, that just kind of became our thing, and after that started to happen, I think the library of music for us to pick from opened up. Because we started out as just playing hard rock, and there's a lot of hard rock bands out there, but when you start talking about doing a Prince song, or you start talking about doing, we do a song by Seal, I don't know if you were there for that one. We did LL Cool J.
Yep.
Did all that kind of stuff.
I actually have a video clip. I think the rap one, I posted a video clip of it too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Once you start doing stuff like that, it kind of opens up the music catalog, and what that did for us is when we get together and start picking songs, you don't laugh at anything that's thrown out there anymore. Sometimes somebody will throw a song out there, and maybe years ago we can't play that, or that's just not going to sound right. But after we started kind of getting a feel for how we do things, nothing really gets laughed at anymore. It's like, well, we'll try it and see what it sounds like, and it might suck, but it might also be awesome. And if it's awesome, we keep...
Hey, down the road, look at how many bands, how many times you're on the radio. Okay, well, this is a remake of a song from 20 years ago. There's a lot of room, even in the music industry in general, for that. To reinvent, the older songs that people are like just tired of hearing. So. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here. Will you eat a little bit of your food?
Yeah.
And we'll get back, and the next part will be starting to get back into the history of the band and how, you yourself got into music.